So welcome to my channel. I'm Craig Hamilton Parker. I'm a psychic, a medium, and I do lots of predictions, which you'll see on this channel if you're here for the first time. But today I'm going to do some predictions, some astrological predictions for the star sign of Aries. So hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for your sun sign astrology, basically the basic astrology, something simple about your sign for the year ahead. So let's have a look first of all at some of the things that are happening in the sky. First, there's going to be Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Now, Pluto is is the furthest out of the planet, so it moves very, very slowly, and it's moving into Aquarius from January the 20th. Until September the 1st, and then it's coming out of it for a while and back in again from November the 19th right through to March 2043. And Pluto deals with lots of the things involved with society at large and ages, as it were, the sort of eras we're entering. So Pluto entering Aquarius is a pretty good thing. We're going to have it there for the next 19 years. So this is good news for everybody, really, and good news for society generally and the world at large. It brings Pluto in Aquarius brings innovation of new ideas. It brings new opportunities, new inspiration, and hopefully some better human values. So with all the troubles we're getting in the world, it's an optimistic thing to have Pluto moving into Aquarius. This should open up lots of new beginnings, lots of new starts for us. There's going to be a number of eclipses in 2024, of course, and these are also give energy to the periods when there's an eclipse. And eclipses bring sort of transformation. Eclipses empower. They clear out the old and they bring in the new. So one of the most significant is going to be around September time, when there'll be an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And this is positive news. And it's positive news again for the world because it can bring things like new inventions and new discoveries, medical discoveries and things like that. So that will be hopefully something good for the news for the world ahead. There's going to be the main eclipses are going to be Libra is going to have a full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th of March. Aries has a new moon solar eclipse on the 8th of April. Pisces, the full moon lunar eclipse on the 17th of September. And Libra's new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. So the eclipses, so we get things like, you consider these dates as new starts, new ventures, times, any of those dates are good times to make changes. A lot of astrologers believe that solar eclipses are all about new beginnings, and lunar eclipses are clearing out the old. So those are the points of changing points in the times around ahead. Jupiter conjunct Venus in Taurus on the April the 20th, 2024. This happens around every 14 years because this is again the slow moving planets outside of the asteroid belt. This doesn't happen very often, but Jupiter in astrology is always a good sign, a planet of expansion. It magnifies anything. It brings good fortune. It's jovial. It's a positive. It brings prosperity, opportunity, optimism, hope, and more meaning to life as well. So we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Taurus on the 20th of April. That's another good energetic time for people. Lots of good things happening with Jupiter this year, particularly as its influence in Aquarius. And Uranus, of course, is the planet of change. It's also a planet of concerned with social awareness and evolution of humanity and things like this. It usually sits it's good in the sign of Aquarius again. So all this is quite positive news for the world ahead. Perhaps are going to be an energetic time for most of us. Actually, it collectively invites a kind of a new wave of thoughts of liberation, thoughts of freedom are going to be very important this year ahead in terms of the planets. Lots of changes, many elections happening around the world. These are all in my predictions, of course, but there's lots happening with that. So lots of changes, and often changes for the good, the way things are looking. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini on May 25th, right through to June the 9th. 2025, and this is a planet that can bring good luck, in good fortune and abundance again. Um, and it brings opportunities wherever it travels, and particularly when in Gemini. So all of these things are happening in the stars. These are all things that will influence all the signs. But now let's have a look at your individual sign. So Aries had a pretty hard time in some respects during 2023. You're naturally a very independent person, and you felt a bit shackled up to now. But now is going to be a good time for you to get a greater sense of freedom. It's a time, particularly at the start of the year, with Jupiter entering Gemini in May, when you're going to be doing a lot of teamwork, working with others, and not feeling so kind of out on a limb all the time. So there's going to be, you've got to be a bit careful with some of your finances, particularly around the April sort of time. Could be a lot of expenses, but you do tend to spend a lot, Aries, because you can be a bit of a risk taker when it comes to money and things like that. But generally, 2024 is going to be a better time for you. Very much on a personal level, you'll be able to shape your identity a lot more. You'll be able to find new directions and new talents, discover new things about yourself, as it were, because I think there's lots of opportunities coming for you, which is going to give you a lot more optimism, particularly having other people beside you a bit more, rather than having to do it all alone. You're a natural leader, but you do need people to lead, as it were. And you're going to find yourself a very much a period where you're going to get one or two periods where there's going to be sudden leaps of opportunity. April the 8th is a time that is very good for you, a time of transformation. That's when we got the solar eclipse in Aries. And this is a time that could often be a turning point, perhaps, because there's going to be a number of turning points for you during the year. So in terms of love, I wouldn't go rushing this year, because you tend to be, it's a very energetic year, so you need to sort of pace yourself a little bit. Don't expect everything all at once. You allow yourself a bit of time, particularly at the beginning of the year, to take things a little bit slower. Gradually do this rather than leap in, because you've got a lot on your plate when it comes to your career, your work and your money and things like that. So you don't want to lose your focus too much. There's a number of eclipses that I talked about at the beginning of this video. The spring eclipses are particularly helpful for you. It's a time, like I say, of change, a time when you can find your power of leadership. The Pluto is going to be in your house of your career from September to December. I said about the changes of Pluto earlier, going into Aquarius as well, because this is going to give opportunities for you. It's going to be a good year, I feel, particularly towards the autumn months, when you start to see the benefits of some of the hard work you're going to be putting in. It's not going to be a lazy year. It's going to be a year of a lot of energy, a lot of hard work, but it will bring its rewards. And you should expect, by the end of 2024, you should be sitting pretty comfortably. I feel that now it's kind of been hard as we've approached the Christmas period, the end of 2023, but look forward to a much more optimistic year in 2024. Well, I hope you enjoyed your sun sign astrology, as we call it. And of course, as you know, it can only be kind of quite simple, really. It will only cover the very basics of a star sign, but hopefully gain something from that and get a bit of an idea of the year ahead for 2024. But I want to tell you about something that's really, really fascinating, which is called the NAADI Oracle. So now, some of you would have read about this in my books already and already explored this, but there's a system in India that goes back thousands and thousands of years, in which there was what's called the ancient rishis. Now, these were kind of like astrologers, but they were seers. And they could foresee the future of any person that would ever come and call upon those rishis, as it were. And they wrote it all down on palm leaves, which are like an Indian book made out of wood. It looks like a sort of like rulers, with it all written down in ancient Tamil language. And they wrote down the future of anybody that consults them. I consulted them, and it completely blew my mind. It tells you all about your life in total detail, even giving the name of your parents and the date and time of your birth. And even if you don't know the time of your birth, it will give it to you, and it will know your name, even if you don't give your name or anything like that. It's absolutely remarkable. Now, I was one of the first kind of modern YouTubers, or people in the West generally, to first start really exploring these ancient NAADI leaves. And now they've become available to anybody that wants to consult them. And it's very, very hard to get a proper NAADI reading. It's very, very hard to find this ancient wisdom source. There's NAADI readers out there that are complete fakes. And the good ones are now so booked up, they're now booked up years in advance. Now, where I've been working with the NAADI readers, they have agreed that the readings that come through me are given top priority. They jump the queue. So instead of having to wait years, you can wait just a few months to get your NAADI readings. Now, this may change. So if you want a NAADI reading through me, and a lot of you know about this already who follow the channels, if you want a NAADI reading from me, now is the time, because this window might close. So have a look in the description below, and what you're going to need to do is go to the link in the description below and then send me an email through the form on the site. Just the contact form on the site, and just say, Craig, I'd like to get a NAADI reading, can you put me in touch with them, or something like that, just so I know what it's about, and then I'll copy you in and send and forward your emails to the NAADI readers so that you get prioritized on getting a NAADI reading. There's a little bit on the page that explains what it is. But you really also, if you're going to do this, this is not like your normal astrology by any means whatsoever. It's a very, very powerful thing that can be very transformative in your life. I'm not just going to flog you the book. I would like you to read the book if you do go into it. So have a look at my book, Messages from the Universe, in which I talk about what happened, how it happened to me, how I checked it all out for frauds and all the rest of it. And it just gives you some idea about what it's all about. I've also produced a film about it on Amazon Prime, which you can go and watch for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, called Mystic Journey to India. I had to think for a minute there, and you can learn about it as well. But if you want to know about the sort of astrology that'll leave you sort of mind boggled, then this is your chance. So have a look in the description below. Like I say, this window will not be open for long. This is probably going to be one of your last chances to get a NAADI reading. So if you're thinking about doing it, now's your time. Get in touch with me, guys, and I'll forward it through to you. Like they say, very few people can get their NAADIs. That's why the door is closing, because so many have come to it, and there's only a few readers that are really, truly out there that can do this. There's lots that claim they can. There's only very, very, very few. They're so rare. As you're reading the book, if you've done do the research. Okay, there we go. I was not doing that just as an ad. I know that many of you are very interested in this. So, okay, thanks for joining me. And like I say, have a look at the description below. Don't forget to give me a like and give me a thumbs up, because that helps these videos to reach out further. And don't forget to follow my channel. And thanks for everything, for all your support, you guys, for all your support through 2023. And I think for a minute I've been saying 2024 all the time. All your thought and all your lovely comments and all those that have been patrons that have helped the site. Thank you, guys. And we wish you a happy new year for all of you. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.